Next, we have the gain controls. Now there are two, overall gain and time gain compensation. Now, what does these controls do? Basically, they amplify the intensity of the returning echo signals. So in physics, you learned about attenuation, where sound waves lose power as it goes further or as it goes deeper. Due to attenuation, they lose power. So when they return as echo signals, they become weak. Now, weak echoes are usually displayed as dark or dark gray images on the screen, and they may not be suitable for diagnosis. So in order to compensate for this reduction in signal, we use the gain controls. Now here, to distinguish a gain control, the overall gain is in form of a knob. Usually it's a knob, while the time gain compensation is usually sliders, or technically these are called slide potentiometers. No? And the slide potentiometer, if you move them to the right, you increase the gain. Increase the gain. If you move them to the left, you decrease the gain. Decrease the gain. Okay? So, the TGC and this one, the top slider represents the near gain, near area or near gain. While the bottom slider represents the far area or the far gain. Okay. So again, this will depend on the depth setting. So this is the deepest region. This will represent the shallowest region or near the skin, the near gain. Again, this will depend on the transducer design and setting of this equipment. First, the overall gain. As the name implies, overall, it amplifies or reduces all the returning signals. So here, when you use this control, the whole image can become brighter or can become darker. So it has to be increased accordingly. Now, if there is too much gain, it amplifies the weak signals, including the noise, and can cause image distortion. It can obscure the important part of the image. If it is decreased too low, then the image becomes very dark, which is also not good. Now, what is the optimum image? That will depend on what you are scanning. So here, these are actually both acceptable images. But on the left, you have a higher overall gain. On the right, you have a darker, lower overall gain setting. In this case, this is the better image. Why? Here, you have no internal echoes. This is a high gain setting because there seems to be internal echoes here, which should not be the case. So another example. High and low setting. I have a video. Okay. So before I start to play the video, please note that the gain setting is here, gain. Okay, GN. Now it's at 0. Watch. So I play the video. The operator will increase the gain. This is the overall gain setting being increased, and watch what happens to the image. Okay. So the whole image amplified, or the signals for the whole image is amplified. Okay. All right. Now, that was gain. Now, this is gain in B mode. Okay? B mode lang yan. Now, I will show you gain in the triplex display mode. Why do we call this triplex display mode? You have one, the B mode, you have the color flow mode, and you have the spectral Doppler mode. So this is a triplex display mode. If you'll notice, there are gain settings for 2D. So here is the gain setting for 2D. And that is for the B mode. You have a gain setting, separate gain setting for the color Doppler or color flow mapping mode. And you have another gain setting here. This is called pulse wave, but this refers to this spectrum, this area here, the spectral, this is called the spectral Doppler display. So some machines can have these functions, and this is also very important because the purpose of the gain is the same, although between the B mode, the Doppler mode, and the spectral Doppler mode, these are the information or the data being processed is different. Okay, just in passing, the B mode processes the intensities of the returning echo. So the gain control in B mode amplifies the intensity of the returning echoes. Now in power Doppler and in Doppler mode, it is not the intensity of the echoes, but the change in frequency. So here you have, this is a spectrum of frequencies here displayed. So, but anyway, the gain setting, you have separate gain settings for each mode. Right. Now, time gain compensation, it adjusts the signals for time and depth. As I showed you earlier, there are several slides. So the top slide will adjust the intensity or increase or decrease the intensity of the returning echo near the transducer, while the bottom slide will increase or decrease the intensity of the returning echoes from the deeper regions. Now the TGC, time gain compensation, TGC is also known as the depth gain compensation or spatial time compensation. So different names, same function. Now what happens? As the sound, this is a transducer, no? As the sound travels further away from the transducer, it loses power due to attenuation. Consequently, areas deep in the deeper regions will have weaker echoes. Okay. So if we display these echoes in amplitude, in terms of amplitude, the weak echoes here, this one will be represented by a low amplitude echo, while the echoes near the transducer are relatively strong, so they are high amplitude echoes. Now what we do, the TGC or the receiver gain should be increased accordingly. In the near region, we do not need to increase the gain. We may not need to increase the gain because the returning signals are already very strong. But in the deeper regions, we may need to increase the gain. So if this is your slider, letter D, the TGC control should be adjusted in this manner. Again, this is an illustration, no? Just to show you the positions, but of course it will differ depending on the operation, depending on the actual scan. Now, in this setting, you compensate for the weak signals. You increase the intensity of the weaker signals so much so that they will all be at the same level. Now, how do you know? When do you need to increase it? Why do we need to get the same levels? You only do this if what you are scanning is a homogeneous organ and you expect the intensities of the tissues to be the same. Okay? You expect the intensities to be the same. So this will allow you to produce a smoother image. So in this illustration, far gain is low. So you have bright echoes here. Here, the intensity of the echoes are all evened out. So the intensity of the echoes near the transducer is almost the same as the intensity of the echoes away from the transducer. Now, okay, I have another video. I hope this proves useful. Before I start the video, take note of this area here on this side, on this area. You will see a curve on this area, okay? Watch this area. Tanggalin ko na. All right, play. So here represents the slider. Now this line represents the top of the slider. So the operator is adjusting or decreasing the intensity here. So here. And now it's level. Okay. So now the operator is decreasing the intensity at the center. So notice that it becomes darker here at the center. Okay. And again, there's a pause here. Now decrease the intensity at the far area, far field. Okay, so this is just for demonstration purposes. So to increase the intensity, tapos na. Anyway, to increase the intensity, okay, if you increase the intensity of the top, this will become whiter. Here, this will become whiter. Okay. So that's time gain compensation control for you. Okay. Zoom. The zoom control is, as the name implies, to magnify the point of interest or the region of interest. Now we have two types, the read zoom, which is the old method where you freeze the image before enlarging it. In this method, the pixel is enlarged. So sometimes you can see the corners of the pixels. Write zoom is real time, the zoom in real time. And this does not enlarge the pixel, uses the same data, or uses more data, and it does not sacrifice resolution. So it is used basically for improving measurement accuracy in small structures. So this is an example. This area is selected by the operator and this is zoom. So there is no degradation in image quality. Now here is another video. Now this automatically enlarges the whole area, or the selected area, the center. Now in this machine utilizes a trackball to select the area. Again, this has no clinical significance, but just to demonstrate to you how real-time zoom is being employed. See, this is a live scan. See, the image is moving. It's not in the freeze mode. Okay. One more significant and important thing is frame rate. It has something to do with temporal resolution. And temporal resolution is the ability to detect motion or differentiate images that are, or differentiate the movement of structures at short time intervals. No? So, this is a rough illustration. if this is one scan or one sweep, it produces one image or one frame. Now the frame rate tells you how many frames are being displayed in 1 second. So if the frame rate is at, if the machine shows you 20 frames per second, that means this process is repeated 20 times in 1 second. So the machine is completing each scan is completing 20 scans in 1 second. So usually for moving structures, well, there is only the heart. You will need a high frame rate. Now the frame rate, most machines now have an automatic frame rate adjustment. So this is optimized already by the system, by the machine. And the frame rate can be affected by some factors like the scan angle. Here, it is quite obvious that a narrower scan angle is capable of a higher frame rates than a wider scan angle, simply because it takes more time to complete the scan. Depth will also affect the frame rate. Here you have an image which has basically the same scan angle, okay, but different depth settings. Now here, the shallower setting will have a higher frame rate. So this is also one reason why you should adjust the depth. Okay, a very deep setting will give you a lower frame rate. So here you have a same scan angle, but this time the reason is that the echoes can return to the transducer faster because it has a shorter travel distance. No? So the echoes are able to return to the transducer faster. So here, okay, here is an example. Now, aorta, this is snap images, so pictures of aorta. So here you have a very shallow setting. You cut the region of interest. This is at the center is the optimal setting. You have the area of interest in full view. Now here you have a very deep setting, and the area of interest can still be viewed, but the image is smaller, and the frame rate is lower. The frame rate becomes lower. Okay. Now you are scanning the heart. It's a moving object, and therefore you need a higher frame rate. So this is not advisable because the deep setting will give you a low frame rate. So some users may say mas maganda yung maliit kasi mas maganda resolution. And from physics, we all know that the depth setting has nothing to do with resolution. So resolution is spatial resolution, diba? Axial, lateral, and contrast resolution, and temporal resolution. So the depth setting has nothing to do with resolution. As a matter of fact, as you go deeper, the temporal resolution becomes lower because you have a deeper setting. So hindi nga bagay, mas mababa ang frame rate for a moving object while scanning the heart. So it in fact reduces resolution. It does not improve resolution at all. So that's it for my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for inviting me again, and thank you very much for listening. God bless everyone.